Let's see a type of music we can make using the emergency alert system.
Let's import this sound. Our EQ curve is going to look like this. Let's add a compressor. The breaking up of this sound will make a nice electric guitar. Let's crop the file. Oh, that sounds nice. Let's pitch this down an octave. Let's add an amp. Let's turn the bass down. Let's add some feedback and some more distortion. Let's add another compressor. Add some reverb, and here's our electric guitar.
Let's see a type of music we can make using Dark Souls.
Let's import this sound. Let's crop the file. Let's cut off the high end on the kick. Let's isolate the middle frequencies for our snare. This will be our hi-hat. I kind of like this. Thank y'all for the continued support in this series. This is episode 92. And as usual, if you have a sound you want to try to make music out of, let me know in the comments. Let's turn down the length and pitch down our kick. Let's turn down the length of our snare and pitch down. Let's pitch up the claps and turn down the length. Let's turn down the length and pitch up our hi-hat. Let's change the groove of the claps. Add some reverb, and here's our drum kit.
Let's see a type of music we can make using Minecraft.
Let's import the Minecraft door. Now these are 4 separate sounds. This will be our hi-hat. This one sounds like it could be a tom. This one's our kick. And this will be our snare. Let's add a noise gate to eliminate the quieter sound. Thank y'all for the continued support in this series. This is episode 93. And as usual, if you have a sound you want to try to make music out of, let me know in the comments. Let's pitch down the kick. Let's repeat the process with the snare. Let's turn down the length of our hi-hat and pitch it up. Sounds like this. We're going to import the tom sound 3 different times. It's an 808, so let's turn up the bass. Let's add some reverb, and here's a drum kit.
Let's see a type of music we can make using Call of Duty.
Let's import the Call of Duty down sound. Let's run this through a gate. Let's run it through a compressor. So now we have a more percussive looking waveform. Let's crop the file, so now we're left with this. This is our kick. This is our snare. And here's our hi-hat. Thank y'all for the continued support in this series. This is episode 94. And as usual, if you have a sound you want to try to make music out of, let me know in the comments. Let's pitch down the kick, and it sounds like this. Let's pitch down the snare. That beat sounds like this. Let's pitch up the hi-hat. That beat's going to sound like this. Let's add some reverb. Let's run it through one more compressor, and here's our drum kit.
Let's see a type of music we can make using a Nokia.
Let's import the Nokia ringtone. I'm not even going to need to change the pitch for this one. This is perfectly in tune. Let's crop it so we're left with the high A. Let's have the sound fade in. Let's compress it so the volume's even. Thank y'all for the continued support in this series. This is episode 95, and as usual, if you have a sound you want me to try to make music out of, let me know in the comments. Let's crop the file and set the root key to A. Let's add some reverb, and here's our synth. Let's run it through a bass amp, turn down our high end, and now I have a bass. Let's replace the bass amp with a distortion plugin and an amp simulator. And now we got an electric guitar.
Let's see the type of music we can make using Clash of Clans.
Let's import the mortar. I never knew there was a wobble in the middle there. Then again, I use air armies when I attack, so I don't hear mortars that much. Let's crop our 2 sounds. We're left with this. Here's the mortar firing. This will be our snare. And we'll use the mortar landing as our kick. Now let's import the original heal spell sound. We're going to crop the file. And this will be our hi-hat. Let's pitch up the hi-hat. That beat sounds like this. Let's pitch down the snare. That beat's going to sound like this. Let's turn down the length of our kick. That's going to sound like this. Let's cut off our highs and lows so it sounds a bit more vintage. Let's add some reverb and a compressor, and here's our drum kit.
See what type of music we can make using a basketball.
Let's import the swish sound. Let's add a gate to remove the background noise. And now the waveform looks more percussive. Let's cut off the high end for one sound. This will be our second sound. If you have a sound you want me to try and make music out of, let me know in the comments. Let's pitch down the first swish sound. Sounds like this. Our second sound is going to remain the same. Sounds like this. We're going to pitch up the second sound. Now it sounds like this. I'm totally going to save this groove because I'm thinking of doing a full song with it for the 100th episode. So add some reverb, and here's a brush kit.
Let's see what type of instrument we can create using Legos.
I bet y'all weren't expecting a new intro. Let's import the Lego sound. Let's crop the file so we're left with this sound. This is our kick sound. This is our hi-hat. And we're going to keep the snare as is. If you have a sound you want me to try and make music out of, let me know in the comments. I actually just opened up a subscriber page on Instagram if you want to subscribe to me. Let's pitch down the kick. That beat sounds like this. Let's crop the hi-hat. Let's pitch up the hi-hat. Here's the groove so far. Let's add a compressor and some reverb, and here's our drum kit.
Let's see the type of music we can make using Ultra Kill.
Let's import this sound. Let's crop it. Let's run this through a gate. This will be our kick. Here's our snare. This is our hi-hat. So let's make a drum kit using the blues groove we made a couple episodes ago. Let's pitch down the kick. We're going to pitch up the snare a tad. Let's turn the length down on the hi-hat and pitch it up. So for episode 100, we're going to be making a full song using this bluesy groove and some of the other instruments we've made over the past 99 episodes. Thank y'all for the continued support, and I'll see y'all in the next episode.
Today I'm going to be making a drum kit using only basketball sounds. This series was just supposed to be 4 or 5 episodes, but you guys latched on. I did not expect to do 14 episodes of this, and I'm starting to run out of ideas. Thank you for the continued support in this series. This is episode 35. I cannot believe we made it to 50 episodes in this series. Episode 63.
This is episode 90.
We hit the century mark. And to celebrate, let's make a full song.
Here's the blues groove we came up with.
So let's see what type of music we can make using the past 99 episodes. So I just put a poll on my story asking if I should do the Mario theme for the 100th episode. And so far, it has been an overwhelming yes. So in the next video, we're going to start making it with a twist. Because I still want to play with that bluesy groove I came up with a couple episodes ago. And I honestly feel like there's a chance that it could work with the Mario sound. The only difference is I would be swinging the rhythm. It'll be the same theme, just jazzed up a little. It'll be fun. Let's jazz up the Mario theme. Let's go.
We're going to be working with the drums today, since that's the backbone. So the kick and snare will be on beats 1 and 3, and the hi-hat will be kind of like... Let's add a bus and route the drums to it. This track will be specifically for what we put all of our vintage sounding effects into. So we're going to run this through a tape delay. We're going to add an EQ, and then a compressor on top of that. Let's pitch up the kick and snare a little more. And this is what our drum groove sounds like.
We have a beat. Let's add some bass. The bass sound is the Mario Ba from episode 75.
I'm going to quickly record a piano melody just so I know where the bass is supposed to go. Now that the melody has been mapped out, now we can record the bass. I like to leave a measure of dead space just so I know where I'm coming in. So I'll record the bass. I'll be back in a minute. I actually kind of want to keep the piano part too because I really like it. We're going to take the bass and piano, shift left click, we're going to right click and go to route 2, and we're going to route it to the vintage effects here. There's one other thing that I want to do that I feel like will be interesting. Add a second bass and change the cab switch from dark to bright so we get a different sound. Now we have a stereo bass sound. Here's what it sounds like so far. Today we're going to add some rhythm guitar to help the song bounce a little. So we're going to be using the Street Fighter guitar from episode 65. I'm thinking I'm going to have the guitar do different things. Start out with a bouncier, and then kind of break down the middle. Let's run this sound through an amp. Let's add a compressor. Let's turn the guitar down a little. Now let's put the vintage effects on.
track is sounding really good, but let's fill out the arrangement a little bit more.
We need some chords to kind of fill out this arrangement. So the first section, the pacing is going to be a lot like Michael Bublé's I Just Haven't Met You Yet. There's going to be like 6 chords staggered out here. Now we're going to put these in the vintage effects. And there you have it.